Hey everyone. By everyone, I mean probably not that many people because this is a brand new stream, brand new Twitch. So I'm brand new to Twitch, brand new to streaming. So new that my first stream that I did yesterday, I didn't have the VOD set correctly, and so it didn't even record. And so that's fine. But it was my very first stream, and so so this will be my first one. Probably go on the YouTube channel. So just to let you know a little bit about the purpose of this stream and this channel. The focus is largely going to be on Magic: The Gathering content, primarily focused towards new players. So I am going to be working on doing walkthroughs and talking about different options, strategies, and techniques that I've learned over the last year and a half playing Magic. It's only been a year and a half, but I played far too much Magic. Please feel free to ask my wife if you don't think that I play too much Magic. She'll be happy to let you know about that. Um, but um, but yeah, the primary vehicle that I tell people when they're wanting to learn Magic is go to Magic the Gathering Arena, and so this is actually what you run into when you first do it. So yesterday's stream, we went through the very beginning. Of Arena once you launch it. And so now I had a few minutes before I have my next appointment. I'm out of town right now, so I'm at a hotel, and I was like feeling the need to do some stream and get on some Arena and do some stuff and create some content. So that's what I'm gonna do. So a couple things just when you get in Arena. So after you go through the very first challenge, the introduction, they walk you through some of the keywords, teach you how to play lands, tap mana, cast spells, cast instants. I think, let's see, we learned how to play a land, tap a land, cast a creature, attack with a creature, cast an instant, cast a sorcery, and cast an enchantment. And so we'll continue to talk about those different things as we go on, and also add some more keywords and stuff as we go through the tutorials. A couple things that I'll tell you in terms of Arena strategies. When you're first getting on Arena, the primary coinage and things, how you buy stuff, are these right here. There's three different ways where you buy things. So these are wild cards, and I'll show you my main account. This is just a backup account I created to show the walkthrough. But you end up with common, uncommon, rare, and mythic wild cards, so you can create cards. So that's important to get those. Then you also have gold, and you have diamonds. Gold is the easiest to get. Diamonds are generally most valuable. You can do the most things with diamonds. If you log on right now, it's January 11th, 2023. We're in the new year. If you log on right now, you can actually go into messages and check out these messages, and you can get some packs. And so I, like most Magic players, have a hard time resisting opening packs. So I thought I just got some free packs when I logged on. So these are alchemy packs, and so you can tell by the A right there. So alchemy is a format of Magic that is only online. So they modify and they change it. It does not sync up directly with paper. There are other formats that are the exact same as what you'll play in paper. Alchemy has cards that are only played digitally, and you only get them, and you can only get these on MTGA or Arena. So whatever. We'll just open up some packs and kind of talk about some of them. All of these are going to be first times we get them because it's a brand new account. So these are the first packs I'm opening. So first thing I want to highlight when you're opening packs, if you notice when you scroll over, you actually can see some different things about it. So we have the color of the spell and stuff like that. We'll get into that later. But the most important thing on a card when you're first getting in to realize is the rarity when you're opening up packs. So if you see this little symbol, it's, as soon as I move my mouse there, it's going to disappear. But you see a little symbol right here. It's a black symbol, so that's a Brothers War symbol. But notice that it's black. Then you have a silver one right here. So this is Alchemy 23. So this is a card that's probably only available online. You can see a silver Brothers. This is slightly different than Brothers War because they're vintage artifacts. So you can see that that's silver. So black is uncommon. That relates to this. Common. Black is common. right? So we have black is common, silver is uncommon, so it's more rare, and then gold is rare, and orange is mythic rare. So let's see if we got, and so right here, these are, you're going to get free wild cards as we open packs. So once this fills up, you get a free gold wild card. Once this fills up, you get a free uncommon card. You will never run out of uncommon or common wild cards unless you're just going crazy. I'm going to open it up. All right, so we got a rare here. So we got Norn's Disassembly. It costs 1 white mana to cast, and then you can sacrifice a historic permanent, seek a historic card. So one of my favorite things about Arena is you're like, what in the world is a historic permanent? So when you have it scrolled over, it actually tells you what historic is. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. If you don't know what any of those words are, don't worry about it, because you'll learn more as you play. And so seek is a mechanic that is just specific to alchemy. Don't worry too much about it unless you decide to get an alchemy, and we can foray into that again. So over here we got some more things. So this is just a wild card. So now we have some of our first wild cards. We have a common and an uncommon wild card. That means we can craft any common or uncommon wild card that we want that's in the system. So we got some commons down here. We got some uncommons, and then this is going to be a rare or mythic rare. We got a rare. This is a fun one. It's a pretty popular commander right now in that format. All right, let's open some more packs and see what we get. Most of the times you're just not going to get that excited about a common or an uncommon. Ornithopter is a very famous card in Magic's history. Zero, it's still played in not a lot of formats, but it's played in some formats and played in some decks and stuff like that, like Affinity, which is a fun archetype. And our rare is another alchemy card. And I just want to back up too. I said the word archetype. So archetype just means kind of style of play, like style of deck. So, and again, if there's ever any words that I say, feel free to drop that in the chats, and I'm happy to define them. We can talk about them. All right, looks like we got our first mythic rare. We got Phyrexian Processor. I hate how that's cut off. That's really annoying. Can we move? I don't know why that's cut off. So Phyrexian Processor is a mythic rare. So these are the rarest cards that you get. And you can see the little orange label down there. So that tells you this is the rarest type of card that we have. All right. We got, so this is neat when this happens. So sometimes you can get more than one rare. So you always get a rare or a mythic rare here. Sometimes you can get more. And so this is nice that we got Precursor Golem. It's an interesting card. Especially if you're casting a lot of spells on yourself. So then that was another mythic. I even missed what it was, but that's fine. And then we got Ivory Tower. It's a good card. And we got Warzone Duplicator. All right, so now we don't have any packs. So you can see, hey, do you want to go spend a bunch of money to get packs, or do you want to actually play and grind, which is more my style? I will on this channel end up giving lots of strategies and things about how I play and how I play for free, and how I do it cheaply. And I don't spend any money on this game, but end up with some pretty decent decks and stuff like that. So, but I do want to just go ahead and jump into it. Let's play a little bit. So these color challenges are the first thing that you do on Magic Gathering Arena. It's an opportunity to get a lot of cards and learn how to play the game more. So I just want to, let's go through the color challenge and rock and roll. So we started, we had a mono white deck. So mono white just means all white. There's no other colors. So every deck that we have is white. And as you can see, we actually, as we go, we get more cards that we can add to our deck that improves the deck, which that's kind of the fun of Magic is you're building decks and you're adding more and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and go through the color challenge. We're going to continue on with this mono white. So it's white versus red. We're probably going to be playing a mono red goblin deck. And we're going to play, and I'll explain my decisions as I go. All right, we're playing against Chandra. These are all components, so you can take as much time as you want. It really is the best way that I've ever found to learn Magic. And one of the things that they do is they have, I think on these they still have, well, on color challenges, I'm not actually sure if they have the set decks or not, or the set plays. But if you remember from our last video, or just playing generally, you can play one land for turn. So we have a plains, that's a land type. Our opponent is playing mountains. So a mountain taps for red mana, plains taps for white mana. All of these things, the numbers in the top right hand corner are the cost of the spell that we can cast. So right now we're not going to be able to cast anything else. We play land and we pass the turn. Arena makes it a lot faster. And I'm going to go ahead and like show phases right there to actually show what's going on, because I like seeing that, because you'll see this pretty free in Arena. So just there's no reason to not do it. You will need to discard down to 7 at the end of your turn. That's something to keep in mind. You can have more than 7 cards in your hand, but at the end of your turn, after your end step at the cleanup step, you actually have to discard down to 7. So we're going to go ahead and play another land. Let's see which one we want to play here. Okay, so let's think about our play. So this says whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Hallowed Priest. So right now it is a 1/1. The number on the left is its power, which is how much it attacks. All right, there we go. We're back up. I think. Still just waiting for the server. Oh, you gotta love hotel internet, right? The internet was out all day today until about noon, so I had to go do some meetings at a coffee shop. Oh, brother. Well, I guess when you get kicked off, I guess you just win it. That is so funny. I don't know what happened there. I think the whole interface restarted. Maybe I didn't win. Let's see what happens. I got a pack somehow. Okay, we're back in the same game. This is weird. Okay, it does look like the exact same play each time, so that's fine. I'm gonna press L. Okay, I'm gonna play this guy again, and we're gonna do this guy. We're gonna do the Impassioned Orator again, so that we can see some of that synergy. So our next play is gonna be land into Hallowed Priest. So we're gonna play land, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I just like organizing my lands just so I know exactly what's land and what's not, and just really makes it easy. So now watch what's gonna happen here. So I have a creature that I'm about to cast, right? I'm gonna pay colorless. Colorless means you can do mana of any color, so that's what the 1 with the circle there, and I have to pay 2 mana. One of them has to be white. Okay, so I'm gonna cast this right now. It's gonna auto tap. It's just gonna tap it for me. So now another creature entered, so that puts a trigger on the stack. The stack is just the order in which things happen in Magic. So it puts a trigger on the stack, which means that now this Hallowed Priest can then get the +1/+1 counter. I'm not going to attack because this is a really valuable creature, and he could double block. Our opponent, she actually, could double block and kill it, and I really don't want that to die. So we're going to do another land. Generally, you want to play land first. There's times when you don't want to. You don't want to give your opponent information or something like that, but it's a good habit to get into, to play land. A lot of times when you're playing certain formats, you don't play land, but then there's been lots of times I think I'm being cute and I don't play land and end up getting punished for it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this again, because I'm going to play another one of these, and so now I get the 1/1 counter on that, and so now I'm going to gain 2 life. So each time a creature enters the battlefield, I'm going to get 2 counters on each of these. Watch this. So there's a trigger when another creature entered the battlefield, and so they both trigger twice. So let's see, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what I'm thinking in the math I'm doing here is they have 2, 3, and 4 power right now. So if I attack with Hallowed Priest, they cannot kill that creature. If I did this, that'd be a horrible mistake, because why are they double blocking? Can they deal 3 damage? No, that was a horrible play that a normal opponent would never do. But whatever. All right, I'm going to play another land. All right, so I'm just going to play a creature. This is a pretty straightforward play. Both of them are going to gain 2. I'm going to gain 2 life. Both of them are getting 2 counters, and a counter just increases the power and toughness. It's a 1/1 counter. It's called a 1/1 counter. We just say 1/1 counter because no one wants to say a +1/+1 counter, but we just say 1/1 counter. I'm going to attack with a 7/7 and a 5/5. I'm still not attacking with these 2/3 because I don't want to lose them, because their Minotaur could block this, kill it, and there'd be no advantage. So I just hit her for 11. Hit our opponent for 11. I mean, it's a computer, so, whatever. All right, Flying in Haste, 4/4. They're going to hit me for 6. That is perfectly fine. I'm not that worried about it. I think these are more valuable. So now the decision I have, excuse me, I cannot block this because it has flying. If you remember, haste means the creature does not have summoning sickness. Okay, so there's no summoning sickness, and so they can attack with impunity just as soon as it comes in, and it's flying, so it means it can only be blocked by something with flying or reach, of which I have none. Now this creature, it's just a 2/3, so I could decide if I wanted to double block. I could single block to just do what we call chump block, so I can prevent this from hitting me and this will die, so I could chump it, but I'm not going to do that. Or I could double block and it dies, but then they get to decide and I lose a really valuable creature. So I'm just going to say no blocks. I'm not that worried about 6 damage. I'm gaining a lot of life. I'm way ahead, and I'm going to win this turn unless, let's see. Let's go real big, y'all. All right, let's hit our opponent for all the damage. And wham and a bam. You're dead. So that was pretty straightforward and simple victory. It does get a lot more complicated as you go, but these are set up to be really straightforward and to kind of help you get used to the mechanics and the strategies and stuff like that. So this is a deck upgrade. Now notice the difference. The mana cost is different, but also notice the difference. There's no text on this, so we call these just vanilla creatures. Plain, vanilla, boring creatures. This creature has nothing going for it. It's a 2/2, and it's a body, and that's it. You pay 2 mana, get a 2/2. Pretty mediocre, just pretty bad. You just aren't going to play a lot of creatures like this ever in your Magic career. These, however, have different things that they do. So this one, when it attacks, you create 2 1/1 creature tokens with lifelink. Lifelink means if it deals damage, you gain life based on how much damage. So if you have a 1/1 lifelink, then you deal 1 damage, you gain 1 life. And so this, if you think about it, this has some really great synergy with our deck, because our deck is all about when creatures enter the battlefield, you gain life. And when you gain life, you get counters on those other creatures. So that's really good with our deck. This one is also really good at helping us get through. So this is a sorcery. So far, all we've cast is creatures. But notice that this is a sorcery. So you get to tap all creatures your opponents control, and all creatures gain lifelink. So this, again, has good synergy. And when I say synergy, I just mean things that mesh well in your deck that work well with other cards. Magic is all about synergy. The best decks have really good synergy. They have good combos. They have really cool things that go together. So this is really good synergy with your deck, and it's just a win con, or a win condition. It's going to help you win because you can tap down any of their blockers, gain a bunch of life, swing, and then you win. So I do have a meeting coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and log off now. But I just had the urge to do a little streaming today, and there we'll see if I ever end up with like a consistent schedule or not. I'm not entirely sure, but for now, that's this stream, and I hopefully did the right selections, and so this might be up on my channel for a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and try to upload this to YouTube as well. So we'll see what happens. I hope you'll have a delightful week, and I'll see you soon.